So where do good story ideas come from? This is a question that is asked to almost every successful storyteller, and almost every time the answer is something like, I have no idea, and even if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
It's the worst, is people will say, where do you get your ideas? I don't know where I get them. And if I did, man, would I tell you?
The only real answer to this question is that story ideas come from a strange combination of our past experiences, interests, and beliefs, all meshed up into something that might resonate with other people. Now, I think everyone kind of already knows that, though. So the real question is basically, how do you get good story ideas? Now, as far as I'm aware, there's only really one reliable way to get good story ideas. And when you hear it, it's going to sound way too simple, and you're probably going to wonder why the heck you even watched this video. But just let me explain. So this is the tip. It is to sit down and simply think. Now hear me out. Every day, all day, most people are constantly being stimulated by something. Now, you know the obvious culprits, social media, TV, Netflix, whatever. But there are also things that are seemingly good for you, such as books, audiobooks, lectures, or inspirational videos, maybe this video. Now, these are things that are essential. You need stimulation in order to grow, but only to a certain extent. So here's my point. Constant stimulation is the enemy of creation. So this means that if you're only being stimulated by external things, then essentially you're destroying your internal ability to create new things. Now let's go on a bit of a tangent, specifically murder mystery novels by Agatha Christie. If you've read any one of them, then you'll know about the main protagonist, Hercule Poirot. He listens to all the suspects to try and work out who is the murderer, right? That's the whole premise of a murder mystery novel. So he's being stimulated by all this external information. All of these clues are extremely hard to fit together, and it's like trying to solve a puzzle with half the pieces missing. It requires a very sharp, intelligent, but more importantly, a focused mind. So what does he do? He sits down for 10 to 15 minutes, and he just thinks. He orders everything around in his mind until it seems to make sense. In The Mysterious Affair at Styles, it says, for about 10 minutes, he sat in dead silence, perfectly still, except for several expressive motions of his eyebrows. Now, it's important to add that I'm talking about focused thought. So you're thinking about a problem, maybe your story isn't very interesting and you want to spice it up, add a little bit of turmeric, and you're giving all of your attention to that problem. And the reason this is so important is because it allows you to hold a large number of relevant thoughts in your mind at the same time. So essentially you have more building blocks to work with to solve the problem. And it's very hard to build a house. It's impossible, actually, to build a house with only a few bricks. And in the same way, a story is made up of hundreds of different bricks or elements. You have the characters, the world, the plot, the subplots, dialogue, internal dialogue, weapons system, magic system, voice, relationship between the characters, plot twists, the structure, the climax. How is it all gonna end? How's it all gonna come together? So much stuff. And because you have all these elements at your disposal, it allows you to combine them in very interesting ways. In the same way that you can combine two boring paints to create a beautiful pattern. But this is only really possible if you just sit and think. Like no phone, no noise, maybe not even writing or taking notes. Just you and your own thoughts for 10 to 15 minutes. And also embrace the boredom. And if you do feel bored, by the way, that is an indication that you're doing it right. And when you get past that inevitable stage of boredom, then you start getting ideas, and then it is actually a very personal experience. I guess it's pure creation, and it's beautiful. So if you're struggling with writer's block, then give it a try. Just sit down and think for 10 minutes, see what you come up with, and then start writing it. And at the end of the day, even if you're the only one who likes the idea, then it's still a good idea because it gave you joy and inspiration, and that's what storytelling is all about. So that was basically my take on where good story ideas come from. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're into writing or storytelling, then consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell, because I would genuinely love to help. Comment what videos you want to see or what thoughts you have about this topic. I reply to every single comment, by the way, so just leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.